Game 2. So JusTus trying to find a win, trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, Epsilon here looking to secure first seed with a victory. 20 kills. That's the marker. If JusTus, every time JusTus earns 20 kills in a game, all season 2, including qualifiers.
Here's the story now. It's 20 kills for JusTus, but it's 23 for Epsilon. They can find this 23rd win of the season. They secure themselves first spot. 23 versus 20.
I like
Who's
that.
going to be the winner?
I don't know. You know, 23 actually busts in blackjack, so I'm not a fan of that one. So I'm feeling JusTus this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I like to drink, so I'd like it to be 23 and not 20. But in Europe, we don't care about that stuff anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
We all start at 15, so it's fine.
You're like 9, like kids are like just drinking some wine with parents. I mean, it's all good, but
it's legal. It's fine. So Mukong, Neath band out, Khepri, Circuit on the table, Janus on the table. There's 2 potential things. What else do you leave up? You're going to leave Thor up. Well, Janus is available. Will we see Yammyn?
I think we're going to see Janus.
Janus?
For me, I think when this god is left open, you give it to Yammyn. But this could be experiment for Epsilon, right? Maybe Yammyn elects to go Nox again just to get practice.
Maybe just give adapting Thor for a change. That could be an option too, right?
Nah.
No?
Adapting's fine.
Well,
he's a big boy. He'll be okay.
I mean, Dimi could play that Janus in the solo lane too. We'll find out where they go with that. JusTus, though, with 2 picks. Thor is on the table. Sanjo had a pretty good game with it last time. They're going to go back and run back the Jin 10, which, in my opinion, it didn't have a big impact in that game, honestly.
I think the problem was the teamwork with the Xing 10 because Qiwen actually hit a couple, actually a significant amount of ultimates.
I agree.
Throwing multiple players, but there wasn't anyone for him to throw to.
Completely
no one else
agree.
was in position most of the time.
I don't actually think his play on the god was bad. It just seemed that the team was already behind when Xing 10 was looking for the opportunities to make something happen for the team. Couldn't find anything, and it falls to the wayside. But Thor going to be locked in for Sanjo again. Not a surprise to see them run that back. Sanjo's performance on that was probably arguably one of the strongest on JusTus that game. Able
to steal away the Gold Fury, get a couple kills early on, but couldn't make anything after that. Unfortunately, JusTus was just kind of falling apart in the teamwork area. But Sanjo and Thor, it worked out.
I want to see New War go mid this game and Janus go solo.
I don't think Dimi's never played Janus.
I think he has. Maybe not this season, but I know he's played.
I believe he's probably played it, but I don't think the split he's played it. Most of the time, it's every time I see this guy picked up in the recent Pro League matches, it's always going to Yammyn.
Now, the one thing is you see Ymir pick up once again going to IRaffer. I think it's a good matchup against Xing 10 as well, which is one of the reasons we're seeing it come out. It's not just because IRaffer likes playing Ymir all of a sudden and likes the walls and things. I actually think the matchup arguably is in favor of Ymir because of all the CC to spin down the mobility that a Xing 10 can bring out.
Exactly. You know, his movement ability isn't really, it's not a long one. Well, it's just 2 medium or short range ones, so you can actually freeze in between the first lead.
Not just freeze though,
Wall
That's
as well.
Another impactful thing that could potentially cause issues. Anhur locked in for VoteNBK this time round, and they'll probably try and ban something out here. Freya is on the table for Epsilon potentially. Will we look at JusTus banning that one away from Emilitoo? But we know Freya versus Anhur matchup generally goes in Anhur's favor, at least during early mid.
I like this Anhur on VoteNBK because it seemed to be all about dueling last game for him. He actually was 1v1ing Emilitoo 3 levels down and almost killed Emilitoo. You know, IRaffer had to rotate over. Dimi had to ult to make sure to lock down VoteNBK, but, you know, even behind it, not only in levels but in build as well, VoteNBK was getting the better of that matchup.
I do like one idea that what we should be seeing from JusTus here is that if they can't actually find a win, what they should be looking to do is try and learn from their opposition. They're against the top team in EU right now. JusTus should be trying to look at the matchups they're against. So VoteNBK is looking at Emilitoo going, what did I do wrong last game? But I boxed him really well. It was a rotation from the team that caused me to end up dying in that 1v1 duel. I nearly had him. Let's take the benefits out of that one. Fexez in the mid lane had a pretty good game for the most part. Good rotations from him. Actually out-rotated Yammyn for the most part.
You know, honestly, like looking back at it individually, like the players weren't, the individual players weren't really having bad games. It was just Epsilon is just a better teamwork oriented squad, as well as, you know, there's still so many switch ups it seems every other week. JusTus, they're swapping someone out or changing their roles, and they just don't have that cohesion to fight into it. The only one I'd say made mistakes was Xephyr early on. After that, he was fine in the team fights. But yeah, it's really just the teamwork and coordination from Epsilon.
Fenrir once again going over to adapting in the jungle more than likely. Unless we see a little bit of a role switch up, we'll find out. JusTus with that last pick remaining will be the solo laner for them. What will they default to this time? They ran Chak last time. It didn't work out great at the beginning. Going to be a Sylvanus, so this could be a Xing 10 solo now.
I don't know about the Sylvanus against a Fenrir. I don't know about that.
Explain.
So the big weaknesses of gods like Ymir, Ares, and Sylvanus, and why we actually don't see them as much, more specifically why we haven't been seeing Sylvanus a lot recently, is a lot of teams, what they do is they like to have high-pressure mids and jungler combos to lock down those non-mobile supports. And Sylvanus is the one that gets focused more than anyone else. That's why you're seeing, you know, Athena's and Geb start to rise over him now.
But he's in the solo lane this time around.
That's even worse. I mean, Xephyr, you know, didn't understand the matchup of Chalk versus Nuwa. How's he going to know the matchup on Sylvanus versus Nuwa?
JusTus is one of the only teams alongside Titan that have ran this solo lane Sylvanus. Cover Tactician was the last one, I believe, who used it for JusTus when he subbed in for them in the solo lane on Sylvanus. And similar build coming out again on the Sylvanus at the beginning of this game. Up against a Nuwa, I should say it's relatively safe for the most part. He's difficult to get full bursted down.
No, he's going to be ganks, in my opinion. It's
Fenrir pressure all day.
I think Fenrir is actually the best god to kill this Sylvanus. I mean, unless you're timing your ultimate as soon as Ragnarok goes off, which the frames on that, it's so incredibly small, you're going to get pressured so hard. We are going to see adapting over in this lane more than likely, unless there's a lot of team fighting elsewhere. But if I'm Fenrir, I'm killing the Sylvanus who can't get out of my ultimate without buying beads.
Well, the only difference in the two hunters right now, the builds are very, very similar, apart from Deathstall versus Bluestone. Deathstall obviously on a Rama, a little bit more impactful than a Bluestone would be, just because of how the abilities are used on a Rama. It's more auto-attack based, so it won't get that dot damage off as much as he'd probably like to. Mid lane, Janus versus Agni. Well, honestly, Agni has a good matchup against Janus early on and can put the pressure really hard onto him. You can see this already.
Fexez is going to be rotating over, and JusTus going to grab those camps. Meanwhile, adapting, taking a trip over to left-hand Harpies and securing those ones for free.
Arguably, Yammyn and Fexez arguably on one of their better gods each as well. They're probably their best gods in set. Yammyn's Janus very, very strong. Fexez on the Agni goes back to the days of old. And he was very, very well known and strong on that one alongside his Ra.
Most, if not all mids have a good Agni. Like that's the god that gets players to play mid lane, right? Like Agni's so fun. He's got a lot of intricacies to his kit. It's, you know, easy to pick up, hard to master.
Crazy Ymir Rama trying to zone away an Anhur Xing 10 in the lane and making it work for themselves too, putting the pressure back onto them. They do have a little bit more, well, better wave play just because of the Ymir support, but Anhur, well, he can put out good wave play with that Impale too.
Emilitoo, you can see IRaffer and Emilitoo just constantly looking in the jungle. They weren't exactly sure where Sanjo was. The second that Adapting and Yammyn rotated back to that mid lane, you could see the call was made that you guys could continue to put pressure on this tower. Now, especially because they actually saw him rotate over to the right-hand jungle, so they know that Emilitoo and Raffer, they're free to put out as much pressure as they want for at least 25 seconds.
Well, Xephyr taking a little bit of poke damage. That Claim Ender's still beating his face down as well on the backside there, but he'll be fine for now. 3 health potions, 2 mana potions available for him as well. As Adapting Yammyn, they return after doing their back left and Harpies. I'm going to find another mid wave. He should be hitting level 5, but JusTus level 5 a little bit earlier.
Putting a lot of poke out onto Yammyn, and I do like that. Fexez spinning that bomb immediately to make sure that Yammyn not going to be able to pressure out
Look at the
anyone
pressure from
and
Sanjo,
forced to back.
Coming all the way over. I actually thought he was potentially going for a gank, but still not reached level 5 yet, so actually going to soak some experience over here. And still, dueling over Epsilon. Aggressive.
And they're going to keep this up because Sanjo just showed himself over in that right-hand lane trying to get farm. And so Emilitoo and IRaffer, they're not going to be worried about anyone except the mid laner in Fexez, and he just cleared a wave.
Talking about him right now, he's hovering around in the jungle on the left-hand side there. I don't know if he's going to go and place a ward.
He's on a ward as well.
Down. Yeah, so they're not going to find anything. Sanjo, however, has hit level 5 just a little bit quicker than Adapting, who should hit it off this wave in mid lane, so doesn't manage to find a gank before he hits level 5, unfortunately, and get the advantage. So look
at this dual lane, though. They're incredibly pushed up. However, they're not level 5 yet, and you have Agni and Thor over in the left-hand side jungle. I think they recognize it now and they're backing up, but they're still pretty pushed up and they have no ward vision. Sanjo realistically could have came crashing down in there. I'm not saying that he would have got a kill, but that was a window of opportunity that Epsilon would have had no idea.
Though, you mentioned the tree being in a lot of trouble in this lane.
That's what's going to happen all game. Until he buys beads, Adapting is going to walk into this lane, ult the Sylvanus, and put him in tower.
Meanwhile, Sanjo going to dunk down on the left, looking for Emilitoo. Emilitoo not panicking too much there. The leap already used by VoteNBK with this fire shards coming out as well. VoteNBK could be in a lot of pressure here. One hit from Death, but the spin to win comes out from Qiwen. He'll actually keep Emilitoo from securing the kill for the time being. Sanjo has to disengage too. They don't find the pick they're looking for.
You can see Qiwen really timing that perfectly as Fexez taking a little bit of poke in mid. He timed his Whirlwind of Rage and Steel perfectly coming out of the landing from, or Emilitoo's landing, but he threw it to no one. I mean, no one is in position to follow up, and Emilitoo just able to walk out of that one. Actually stands tall, doesn't even need to dash away.
Both sets of Harpies are available in the mid lane right now. Adapting was just looking to see if Fexez was backing around that corner. Fortunately, he didn't look around the second one. He would have found him there as the two people in the mid lane for Epsilon are going to split up and take both Harpies.
Look at this. Xephyr being incredibly aggressive. Okay, I thought Adapting was going to rotate over to that lane. His ultimate not up, though. I believe it's up in about 20 seconds.
Well, he should start heading that way anyway. Blue buff already available. Speed up very, very soon. Adapting waiting for it to actually spawn here so he can leap over and get full damage off on it as it did spawn. Left Harpies went in favor of Epsilon as well there. We did see Yammyn just secure those ones and actually drop down a sentry ward on the left and Harpies as well for vision of rotations.
Yammyn alone in the mid lane here against 3, but not too scared. Has a lot of mobility.
Adapting back in the right though, looking for Xephyr once more. Xephyr still does not have beads available, going to get picked up.
Have you ever
brought
seen
back
this
to
one?
Dimi, not to the tower this time. Does get the ultimate off.
I don't even know.
You called it.
I mean, there's no reason to not do it, and especially if Zephyr's just pushed up with no wards and no beads, that is a free kill every time Adapting walks into that lane. Xephyr needs to ward, he needs to buy beads, or he is going to continuously be put down. Maybe the idea is, honestly, for Adapting to gank this lane because he puts less pressure elsewhere.
A little bit caught out there, already jumped to his hammer. They don't want to follow up, do the boys of Epsilon though. They're happy with what they got out of that one. Right hand side though, Emilitoo going aggressive in the jungle. He's got IRaffer coming in support. The ultimate used by Qiwen to keep putting the burn damage off. The roar comes out, but Fexez is in trouble as well as the Glacial Strike of the snipes. They're going to land from Emilitoo.
Emilitoo finds that kill, but he's actually caught in between two. He jukes out the impale, takes the portal through. IRaffer doing the best job he can to keep Emilitoo alive, and the wall locks 3 members in place. Yammyn's going to drop a portal. IRaffer gets out. Wow. Epsilon just getting away with murder everywhere.
Just pretty. That's all it was. Pretty play from Epsilon. Going aggressive in the jungle, realizing they could all get away and get out.
This is why you first pick Janus for Yammyn. It is absurd how good he is on this god.
But it's also the communication of the team to actually go, guys, go this way. I'm going to put a portal down. Trust me. Just hug the wall.
None of these players panic in rough situations, and that is so important for a top-level team. Maybe that changes that land, right? Maybe nerves get to them. But if they can keep calm, it is so hard to beat a team who is mechanically gifted, fantastic at drafting, sound teamwork, and stay calm under pressure.
That's one thing to look at as well, though, is the fact of Xephyr.
Hey, I've never seen this before.
I think you saw that one.
It doesn't matter. He's just going to get dove. There's an ultimate that removes him from tower.
Gold for free. Play minions, half elf.
Adapting doesn't know where Thor is, so he's respecting Sanjo. Doesn't want to dive to the tower, and you can actually see Thor in the area. If they had dove that a little bit hard, Sanjo could have found a return kill. Adapting, I don't know if he's baiting the back or actually backing. He's actually backing.
He's going to back inside. He's going to walk in, soak up with some experience in response there as
I almost feel like he should have ulted and tried and killed Dimi. I'm not saying it would have been successful, but I think there was that window of opportunity when you're down 3 kills. It's not too much, but that's a small opportunity you could win.
Sorry, the ult from Rama, I thought I heard it. He was looking for the pick on Fexez on the backside there as the Path of Flames away. Look at Emilitoo in mid lane now, going aggressive on Qiwen. He just wants to fight now.
Qiwen should be fine, but he is going to take a significant amount of poke for this and forced out. There's the wall. Just quickly jumping away.
But look at Emilitoo. Look, Yammyn's transitioned over to the duo lane now. Emilitoo's like, I'm bored of duo. Let's just go mid. We'll switch it up.
Hey, look, Adapting's going over to the right. I don't know if he's trying to steal anything away. I think he might just be checking buffs.
Still no beads available.
Oh no, they're gonna see Zephyr's pushed up and they're gonna kill him.
Yep, he's got dead. No beads either. He's got no ultimate this time around. They might not even need it. Is a question.
Dimi's just gonna solo kill him, right? I mean, Adapting's just kind of here to secure it, and Xephyr knows that he's just kind of running in a circle there, jumping in place. I mean, you gotta ward, you gotta buy beads, you gotta do something. It's 3 times that he's just playing like it's a ranked game and just not paying attention to the map.
Unfortunate situation for JusTus now. Epsilon up 4-0, giving kills over to Adapting. He'll take them all day long and accelerate the experience in gold lead.
2,000 in the lead, 5,000 experience, and it's starting to show. Xephyr, you know, honestly, He's died a lot, but it's not too bad for him because a lot of what it's going to come down to is he's just going to be an ult bot. He still has a lot of CC. He can work as a support.
Sanjo's going in, though, onto Yammyn in the right-hand side. They're looking for the pick on him. The wall was good, but he still managed to squeeze through a pole. Does Yammyn away from the danger. Didn't actually waste anything there either. Through space and time, I believe, was already on cooldown.
Looks like JusTus are looking at the Fire Giant.
Where?
IRaffer has a wall here. Does he want to use it on Qiwen?
He will now.
Rotation coming in from adapting. He took Yammyn's portal. There's the Whirlwind of Rage and Steel, but it's not going to be able to pull anyone. CC immune in that ultimate is adapting. Emilitoo takes to the sky, hits 2. Can he find the 3rd? He does. Wall coming through, slowing down Qiwen. Adapting leap over finds that kill. In the mid lane, though, JusTus find their first kill of the game onto Dimi, who rotated in but was caught out alone.
19 more to go, and JusTus still feel like they can fight this one right now. Only Qiwen currently dead. They're looking for a potential pick. Leap over the wall.
I don't know about that one.
They're going to find 2 in the jungle, but they don't want to find a Fenrir. That's for sure. VoteNBK's in the world of hurt right now. And he will fall down. Adapting gets out of trouble. Sanjo trying to make something happen here with Fexez and Xephyr on the backside, but Emilitoo is just destroying the tree right now.
VoteNBK jumped over the wall with no vision on Epsilon and immediately got turned on. He had no answers for the stun and just fell. And then kind of JusTus. I mean, this is what they do. This is why they lose a lot of games. Individually, they may be fine in lanes. Individually, they may be fine at farming and being efficient, and mechanically they're sound. But as a team, they do not work. One person goes in, another's jumping over a wall blindly, and then after both of those are dead, the 3rd person rotates in and dies as well because someone on the enemy team is low and he wants to try and trade out, but he doesn't realize that he's going to get CC chained.
Is it worth trying to trade out with them when you're behind this far? I mean, if you get that kill, is it worthwhile? You're already behind. You trade back some golden experience. You get the shutdown.
Put it this way.
You
yes.
potentially open up the map for a Gulf Hero
but
or a
it
tower.
is almost never successful. Right? Okay. You need to understand what the enemy team has up, and a lot of that's coming down to the comms, right? So, you know, are JusTus calling efficiently? Are they like, all right, adapting sleeps down, freezes down on IRaffer, Mez is down from an Apollo. Okay, I can go in and try and trade out this kill.
Look at this, Qiwen just had to back away with the flips, so way back to the mid lane as the Gulf Fury started by Epsilon here. No control from JusTus whatsoever. They're going to have to give this one up, and Gulf Fury goes to Epsilon, extending the lead.
Oh my god, he went blink. Sorry, 5,000 gold in the lead, 9,000 experience, but go back to the scoreboard, please. Xephyr went blink. He is going to die every single time adapting says, I want to kill you.
VoteNBK is looking for the pick onto... Sorry, VoteNBK was looking for the pick, but instead he's going to get turned on. Sanjo dunks down, but Emilitoo in the sky with the snipes will secure the kill for himself. Sanjo was the supporting act there, but didn't manage to find any help. Meanwhile, mid lane pressure onto Fexez as well, who's under the tower trying to stay safe for the most part. Zephyr's finally making a rotation over on this Sylvanus to support, but already the jungle has been stripped of that purple buff. Only red stands as Epsilon start to look to
pull over the wall. I thought Xephyr was looking for a pull. He's actually not going to secure Emilitoo there, and barely that could have turned bad, right? If Emilitoo gets pulled under tower and we could see some form of CC with the slam from Qiwen, he likely would have died there. Epsilon could have though the tower, but there's the blink in by Xephyr, knocking up 3. Emilitoo stands tall. Xephyr going to be locked down. Qiwen throwing 2 into the team. This is actually a good fight for JusTus if they can find the kills.
They should be able to find the kill on Emilitoo here too. No, they won't. Qiwen will fall down. Sanjo can't turn up to support either. And even though they found 1 kill, the response was just better from Epsilon once again.
I really actually like that. You know, I talked bad about the blink from Xephyr, but I think it might be that he's so far behind that he recognizes he's going to die anyways, so he's just looking for those burst initiations. He blinks in, knocks up 4, and then JusTus, they're not able to find as many kills as they want. You could see, you know, Emilitoo on your screen there.
Look at the KDA difference between
just like, is that a 7.3?
That's a 7.3 to a 1.1.
Well, the Epsilon's team average is like an 8 KDA. Like, a team average is like 8. What is that?
Now, KDA is an average of kills, deaths, and assists all combined.
Half assists.
Half of the assists is where it comes from 7.3. So it doesn't mean he's getting an average of 7 kills a game before he dies. It means he's getting an average of 7 kills and half the amount of assists.
Epsilon as a team, their members just have so few deaths across the board, and you can just see it there. Emilitoo just stood and fought in 3 players on the side of JusTus, and his team did a fantastic job of body blocking for him and, you know, barely escaping out of that one with the lifesteal he has in his kit or in his items.
Well, Gulf Fury is down now, but Emilitoo still hunting around the jungle. As mid lane, the pressure is onto Yammyn. Will they find the kill?
Good
yes,
job.
They will. The body blocks are good, but the damage return from Epsilon is even better. Sanjo tries to dunk in to support his team. Fexez still alive. Does a good job of juking. Adapting very low. Will fall down to VoteNBK, but Emilitoo has arrived as well. It's still a 3v3.
Double stun. There's the frost carpet. IRaffer picks up the first. IRaffer picks up the second. He's looking at VoteNBK. That impale might have saved his life. Can Emilitoo find the shots though? One more hit. Doesn't matter. IRaffer comes out with the triple kill, showing that he's not just a support.
No, he is. We know that. He's going to fall down to the tower now.
Oh, the Aegis hot plays.
I really wish Fexez kills you. That would have been so good if Fexez bombed him right at the end. Then like, nah, well.
Was that a rank 1? No, that actually lasted a while. Yeah, that was rank 3. I don't know if the 120-second cooldown was, worth taking an extra tower shot.
Hey, you get a triple kill. You can have a celebratory Aegis after one tower shot.
Is that what it is?
I'm okay with that.
Oh,
it's
man.
like a firework. You know?
A couple kills picked up by JusTus in that last engagement, but Epsilon responds. And
you can see what the game plan is, right? Is to do all this setup for Fexez to get the bomb damage off and get a lot of dot damage on these targets. You've got the dots coming out from Qiwen and the Raw. You've got the dots from Agni. You've got the dot damage coming out from the Wisps and the ultimate from the Sylvanus. But it's just not been enough.
They have a really controlling team fight, right? But the problem is that it's Epsilon controlling the pace of the game, and a lot of times JusTus are using their CC to get out of the fights because the rest of the team isn't in position at this point. They're just so far behind, it's going to be hard for them to fight back into it. They're finding nice engagements, though. Xephyr, he died a lot in lane, but he's still Sylvanus. If he can get his ultimate off, it's a knock-up, and it's a huge dot on multiple members.
Fexez under a lot of pressure here. He's looking for an option away, tries to return to Xephyr. Sanjo actually dunks in there, doing what he can, but adapts, and Emilitoo got to combine to pick up Fexez. Sanjo under pressure in the mix, Berserker Barrage. He'll fall down to Emilitoo, who gets another kill as well as he lands. Now there's another opportunity here onto Xephyr. Big 5-man ult, but you're still going to fall down, Emilitoo. Believe that was a quadra kill there for the boy in the Hunter role.
20 kills on the board for Epsilon. Unfortunately, JusTus are still 16 behind on their mark. VoteNBK that entire time was split pushing. He's going to get a tier 1, maybe a tier 2. No one has teleport on Epsilon, but Epsilon, 4 kills, all to Emilitoo. And then a Fire Giant. This game at oh my god, this is 15 minutes. I didn't even notice that.
15-minute Fire Giant. I believe that's one of the fastest in the SPL right now.
It's definitely up there. I think 14 minutes is the record for season 2.
The closest one I believe was the Anubis play where they did it too early.
That was spring qualifiers for who was it?
Gonna be Yammyn. Yammyn gonna be a bit more respectful than that. One takes a bit of poke. He's still looking to trade though. He was baiting because he's got teammates coming more than anything.
Just baiting him. Yeah, I mean that was really obvious.
Well, VoteNBK tries to find the kill back in response. Not going to connect, unfortunately. Maybe if he hit the whole of the Desert Fury, he would have brought him down. 21-4. Epsilon are looking to close out this game right now, Janus, and take their #1 seed from EU with 2 weeks to go.
I love what Epsilon's doing right now. They gave JusTus a lot of respect in game 1. You could see they pushed down 3 Phoenixes. They were like 4 or 5 levels ahead on each god. And then they kind of backed off, spent their gold, came back in, split up all 3 waves, or pushed up all 3 waves, and had a very calculated game. They gave JusTus the respect you would think they would give, a Fnatic team who's only 5,000 gold behind. So Epsilon, they're making sure they secure this first seed. Gold Fury down, Dimi split pushing the right, adapting split pushing the middle lane, and then Emilitoo just going to be pushing up his own lane.
And beats forced onto Fexez as well, who's dropping bombs onto Adapted's head, but look how little damage they did. New War ults coming out as well. Leap over the dunk from Sanjo from Adapted's. Dimi secures it with a fire shot. Yammyn, bit of trouble here, going to be pulled and flipped in towards his team. There's no tower there for the damage. Beads is used, and Chain comes out, and Adapted secures another. Round the back comes Dimi as well as Emilitoo snipes in the sky. Qiwen bounces away, VoteNBK leaps away, but gets chased down by the Doge. 3
dead on the side of JusTus. And Qiwen jumping in place. There's nowhere for him to go. And IRaffer actually going to hit a nice wall. They could just elect to go on him. Qiwen going to be dropped through the portal. One more hit connects. Dimi finds that one. Mid Phoenix being attacked for now. The minions. Actually, no. IRaffer's going to take. Okay, IRaffer.
Good abuse of the Aegis. That's the tower shots for free.
They have minions.
So
they actually have
minions.
New Wall minions tanking the Phoenix for him.
Well, it worked out as best as he wanted to do it that way. You can't complain. They're 22 and 1 right now.
IRaffer with a spice, trying to make it 23-1 and secure that first seed. But no, full credit to JusTus. They are playing a very respectable game.
Which makes more important for Epsilon now next game round? Do you for the rest of the season? Because obviously this one looks like it's going to go in the way of Epsilon right now. There's not much of a way back in for JusTus. Their last few games for Epsilon, do we start seeing them experiment a lot, or do we look for them to make the best record ever in the SPL of only losing 1 game?
I think both are possible. As this last, probably realistically one of the last team fights is breaking out here. Adapting, going to jump forward. One hit to kill Sanjo. Dimi will secure that one. Xephyr going to the back line. They're trying to lock down IRaffer. Wish you had Aegis now, I bet, IRaffer.
Yeah,
Adapting, taking the portal. He's going to jump out of that one. One dead on the side of Epsilon, two for JusTus. And just these extended engagements, they're going away.
Really good impale. They should be able to pick Dimi here as well. That was a nice little play from VoteNBK. Did good work. But still on the backside, they're still cleaning up Epsilon here as Emilitoo gets a double kill. Now he's going to hunt down Anhur as well, but the slow will be enough from the... Oh, he's going in! VoteNBK, he wants more!
VoteNBK wants to fight. Not going to be enough, though. 3 players on the side of JusTus. Or on the side of Epsilon, going to lock him down. Fexez, did he use his dash? I believe he did. Look at him. There it is. Getting body blocked by the minions. One more hit. There's the slow. Fexez not going to die. Emilitoo getting blocked by Sanjo's wall.
Unfortunate, but still, Emilitoo putting out good play damage, healing up. The snipe's coming out. He's going to try and find somebody. Can't find the first one. Changes his mind. Cancels it immediately. Now out of mana with Sanjo in the sky. Good response from Sanjo. And actually
they're on different targets.
Yammyn, but Yammyn, through space and time available, gets out. Emilitoo in trouble. Burning. Aegis going to buy a second for the dot damage. He's still trying to live. Life stealing away. Fexez does fall down to the fire minions in trade.
Oh man, Emilitoo, that's so unfortunate that he died there. I almost thought he was going to come out on top of that one and live, but yeah, that's dot damage and bomb damage. He does manage to trade out. IRaffer doing the mid-harpies here. 2 Phoenixes were taken on the side of Epsilon that last engagement. Only the right one stands.
Hey, 13 kills left.
They could do it.
Clock's ticking.
You know, VoteNBK is actually playing a really good game. He's for 2 games in a row, he's down, 3, 4, 5 levels and still boxing Epsilon head on and actually winning. In 1v1 scenarios, VoteNBK is winning these matchups. Epsilon, though, as a team, is doing a good job of responding and shutting him down.
Well, not a clean game for Epsilon now, as they've all died at least once, which, as long as it's once, it won't influence their KDA too much, but if it's any more than that, well, it'll start impacting. Just because he adapts in twice this game alongside Dimi with twice in that solo lane.
9 deaths on the side of this Sylvanus. That was such just a risky
I just
pick.
feel sorry for Xephyr today, because Xephyr's just had a rough set here, more than anything else.
Yeah,
the chat game didn't go well. Picked Sylvanus for a different attempt at something else with a team comp, but it's just not worked out either time. Now, well, that's 10.
That is 10. I don't know what he was doing. I think trying to ward? Did he have wards in his inventory? No, he was just...
I mean, it's one of the problems with going this Sylvanus is you're not very tanky anyway. You're still going to try to be frontline and do the initiations for your team, but you're going to get bursted very hard unless your healing power is way, way higher. Fire Giant's going to fall down once again for Epsilon. And through space and time, here we go, all the way across into the mid lane for the fight. But what a pickup by Qiwen!
He finds 4 members, but it doesn't matter. It's just to get away. Adapting, chasing Qiwen real deep. He finds that kill to the sky. Emilitoo misses the 3rd shot. VoteNBK stays alive for now. Adapting an IRaffer. Doesn't look like they're going to chase into the fountain. But right now, Epsilon, they're in full control of this game. Titan, it's at half-life. Mid-Phoenix has respawned, immediately taken out. And this is going to be game 2 and first seed at the Super Regionals for Epsilon Esports.
Epsilon confirming their position there. JusTus almost signing their fate away of not making it to the LAN. They still have an opportunity though, right?
They need to win every single game.
And Dignitas can't win.
And Dignitas has to lose every single game.
And
that's JusTus' only chance.
Myrmidon's in a very similar spot, but just at the bottom. First blood at the beginning of the game, you saw this one go down with Adapting combining with Dimi once again to bring down Xephyr. And you mentioned that matchup in that solo lane, exactly how it was going to go down, and it played out.
Emilitoo, though, phenomenal performance from him. A player of the game, I believe. 12, 1, and 10. And there were so many times, he had 1 death. So his only death was at the end there when he traded out. There were so many times that he just stood tall. He understood the damage output that his opponents could give him, and he understood the damage he could do and the fights that he could win. I really like that. It's hard to know, and that's that calmness under pressure that you need to see from top-level players.
That he did there immediately when the blink came in for Sylvanus, he bees preemptively knowing he was going to get knocked up, didn't end up getting knocked up, and instead starts cleaning house in this engagement for the most part. Just going through one at a time, still surviving. And I believe it was a delayed... He did get a quadra kill later on, I believe, in that engagement.
Yeah, the icon didn't appear, but yeah, he was a part of all of it.
This one.
Let's see here.
1.
VoteNBK is split pushing.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, quadra. I thought I was right. They gave it momentarily it was, but it definitely was quadra kill. Going over to Emilitoo. Good performance from him and the boys of Epsilon. And now they can technically sit back a little bit. Not necessarily rest on their laurels, but they get a couple of weeks of necessarily sprint practice.
I really do want to know what they're going to do. I want to know if they're going to experiment. I want to know if they're going to look for the best record. I don't expect them to like do anything trolly. I do want to see them like, all right, what can we run on adapting? That might be successful at LAN. I think that's what we're going to see from them.
Well, let's have a look at the top performers as well from that game. What a surprise. It's going to be the boys of Epsilon adapting, leading the charge this time, and Emilitoo right behind him after his quadra kill. Dimi, pretty good game from him once again.
You know, IRaffer would have more points if he didn't Aegis the Phoenix.
Aegis is important, you know.
He could have Aegis, you know, when he was about to die.
Potentially.
Just saying, Raffer. Just
that's,
saying.
That's the Alpha Draft points for you, and with that, that kind of closes out EU for the time being. I mean, EU today, we expected these games to be potentially go that way. It was a good performance from them. However, let's have a little talk to the jungler from Epsilon. Adapting joins us. Adapting, how are you doing today, buddy?
Hey guys, I'm feeling pumped. Glad to secure first seed.
Yeah, tell me how you just like, what were your immediate reactions coming off of the win of that game, like as a team?
Ooh.
as a team.
But we were hyped. We were definitely really excited about it, and we're looking forward to the LAN and just going to focus 100% on the LAN now.
Cool. So what's the plan with the next couple of weeks of SPL? Because you've got a few games remaining. Some of them are pretty good opposition you've got to face too. Are you guys going to experiment a little bit, or maybe just play what you've played so far so you don't give any strategies away for LAN?
We're definitely not going to expose any like secret strategies, but we're definitely going to do some spicy hot picks.
Okay.
To try out a bit, but still not, you know, anything
not giving
super
away
secret.
Everything, right? All right.
Yeah.
Good decision.
I have a question. I don't think I've talked to you, at least on an interview before. A lot of players and viewers view you as not only the best player in Europe, but maybe the best in the world. Does that ever affect your player, or how do you feel about, you know, being respected that much as a jungler?
Well, it's incredible, and I really appreciate the overwhelming support I've been getting and that my team's been getting. But I mean, I just try to not think too much about it and just think about myself and how I can keep improving and getting better.
Gonna put you on the spot, Adapting. Do you think you're the best in the world?
Don't know.
Good answer.
Okay.
Safe answer.
And Inster's better, man.
And this is better.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out at Worlds potentially. At least we'll see at the Super Regionals. Any shout-outs you want to give Adapting before we let you go today?
Shout-outs to my old teammates from Flamboyant for supporting my Smite career. They're my 12% old team. And we're going to be doing an Ask Us Anything on Reddit, so be sure to check that out. Shout outs to all the fans, everyone that's been supporting us, all my viewers, everything. And shout outs to the Queen.
To the Queen.
To the Queen.
Thank you so much. I hope she's talking about our Queen. Adapting, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in the rest of the SPL. First seed from Europe, Epsilon. Close it out in fashion. Can they go with only one loss this season?
They've only dropped the one game against Fnatic of all people, too, so no surprise there.
On your screen right now, see where exactly the rest of the teams fall. You said they dropped that game to Fnatic, and Fnatic, they did win today, 15-7. They're still third, though. Paradigm sat in second, and I think the way the LAN works out, Fnatic could end up facing Epsilon for a shot at Worlds. If this is how it's going so far.
No, third seed is on the bottom. So third seed,
it?
yeah. So you want to be you want to be 2 seed because you get the bye bracket, and you want to be 3rd seed because you're on the bottom.
And
but
4th,
and then 4th is like that's the one at the top. You don't want to be 4th.
You don't want to be facing the team that's only been defeated once. But with that, that closes the end of Europe for today. We'll be back with 2 more sets from North America to close out the week and find out what the action is going on across the pond.